I came here tonight, and I have to tell you the truth. Before I came here, I went to Barnes & Noble and stuck my tongue out. I never wrote a book. I don't know why I wrote a book. Because my friend Steve, Garrin, and my friend Hirschlock said, you know, you ought to write a book. I said, how do you write a book? He said, you come to my studio and just talk. So I said, okay. So I came in with the material, and they built the house. It's exactly how this book came about. They put everything in order, my stories and whatever. I never said I was good in whatever I did in my career. Never. Because you never know the next day it's over. This book is great. Not because it's mine. I don't care if you buy it or not. It's great because it says what nobody's saying. We got bullies out there today. This book is just coming out trying to tell you, you stand up to bullies. Whether it's your parents or whether it's your whatever. You got to stand and be counted. So they say, well, you're dramatic. I'm not dramatic. I just feel bad for people who don't stand up or are afraid. I'm afraid to live. But it's a strange thing. I'm not afraid to die. Because when you die, it's over. No more people knocking on your door saying, did you pay? I said, pay what? We don't know. We made it up, but you got to pay. So when you leave the planet, and when people say, well, you know, let me explain something. I'm going to be 82. People say, Jesus Christ, you look good for 82. I'd rather be 40 and look old. I mean, what does that mean, you know, you look good? Well, say 82 is a number. How about 17? I didn't understand people telling me, I'm old, God damn it. I'm old. Please let me be old. And they go, well, gee, I don't want to hang out with you. You're scaring me. My father told me that every once in a while when I got cocky. He said, one day you're going to leave the planet. And I prepared myself when I was 7. And every once in a while my father said, you know, you're getting too big for your britches. Stay in order. Who do you think you are? This country owes you nothing. You owe the country. I says, I'm 11 years old. I'm on hock already. But he was trying to tell me something, that there's no free lunches, you know. So I said, okay. And I got lucky. I got lucky. I was a furrier, the worst. Motown lamb. I thought it was Bhutan lamb. But it was Motown lamb. Then I went, I drove a cab, I laid bricks, I did everything. And to say that that man's going to become a comedian, that's a lie. Italians don't become comedians. We don't become comedians. You're not allowed to become a comedian. You're something wrong with your mentality. But if you sing off key, you're another Caruso. So I became a comedian, but unbeknownst to me, my father said I was retarded. There's something wrong upstairs. And if I believed them, I wouldn't be standing here tonight. And my father and mother missed something. They missed me. How do you let a man who's your only son get away when they don't see it in front of you? They say, what is he doing? He's at the Copacabana. And my father came to see me at the Copacabana. And they threw him out. Why? Because he wouldn't say, I'm Pasquale Caputo's father. I mean, he said that. They said, who's Pasquale Caputo? They say, he's my son. He works here. They said, we have no Pasquale Caputo working here. They threw him out. He comes to my dressing room. He says, how come I'm your father? And they throw me out. I said, well, did you tell him, Pat Cooper? You're not Pat Cooper. You're Pasquale Caputo. I said, well, if I said Pasquale Caputo, I would never work in comedy. Because at that time, in the 50s, when you're trying to become a comedian, I thought Pasquale Caputo was something wrong. The agents wouldn't book me. So I says, well, all right, and I said Pat Cooper. So my father thought I did it because I wanted to hurt his feelings. This is ridiculous. And then I had to do it, which was good, because the Internal Revenue said, who's paying Pasquale Caputo's taxes? I says, me, Pat Cooper. Why is Pat Cooper paying? I said, I'm the same person. So look how you can get screwed up in your own country. What the hell what's the difference? If I'm paying my goddamn tax, I'm paying it. You gotta make sure we want to know who you are. You're Pasquale Computo or you're Pat Cooper. And my lawyer said, please, Pat Cooper, that's what you did. And that's who I am, I think. Now, I said, it's amazing how you people on a Tuesday would come here. If I knew where you lived, I would have came to your house. That's how much I think this book has got something to say. It's a fun book, and it's a nice thing because it gives me a chance to throw up verbally. You're going to hear stories in there, so this guy should get locked up. I really should get killed. I mean, I stood up to the wise guys. And who beat me? Italians always beat me, and I'm an Italian. And I said, why? What did I do? Don't worry, you're with us. I don't want to be with you. I'm in Chicago, I'm with the Italians there, you're with us. In Boston, I'm with the Italians there. In Rhode Island, I said, who the hell am I with? So one time I got in trouble, I called the guys in Chicago. I said, the guys in Boston want to hurt me. He said, we can't do nothing, he's with us. And what about me? Don't worry about it. And it's sad, because my culture is dynamite. 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 We allow macaroni to be called pasta. How dare they? How dare they? Pasta in a restaurant is $17. Macaroni $1.25. My father said, well, I call it pasta because they wanted to be gay. I said, there's no gay pasta. He said, how come we don't eat a macaroni? Because they felt the culture was being taken away from us. They said. My father ate calamari raw with lemon. They called him a pig. Today it's called sushi. Yes. A delicacy today is broccoli rabe. We got it for nothing years ago. No matter where you go, any kind of restaurant, I'm in a Chinese restaurant, you want some broccoli rabe? I said, this is a Chinese restaurant. I don't want broccoli rabe. I'm behind this greens. I'm eating all that damn greens. So, you go on, and you take chances. I didn't think I took chances because I do what I want to do, and some people, you know, they get offended, and I can understand. I'm not far from perfect. And my mistakes, I learned to live with my mistakes. I learned to look at them and say, you were wrong, you did this, you did that. So, I said, okay, that's it. And then Steve Garrin busted my chops and says, put a book up. I think it's going to be. And you know something, I hate to repeat myself, Jesus, that I, you know, guys like Lionel don't have to say what they say about me. It's just I'm proud of this product, I really am. And these two gentlemen, God, it's such a nice thing, because they're into this thing. And I was on Opie and Anthony this morning, they'll never be the same. I did Howard Stern, and people, my wife went nuts, you shouldn't do Howard Stern, he's nuts. I did everything, even I wasn't supposed to do it. I worked with the biggest stars on the planet. The biggest, forget just Sinatra. I mean, the biggest stars. I drove a taxi cab, I was 22. And guess who comes into my taxi cab? Spencer Tracy. Wow. I never knew he had red hair. I said, excuse me, are you Spencer Tracy? He says, yeah. Nah, you got red hair. Because we never had Technicolor in those days. And I was giving him an argument that it was a lie, it wasn't Spencer Tracy. But it was my humor, and I kept doing funny things in the cab. I had some of the greatest sex I ever had in my life, in the cab. And the clock was running. There's no longer that. Because, you know, disrespect any culture. You go in a cab now, what do you want to do? Did you want to go someplace? There's no sex in the cab no more. Once in a while you have a woman driving a cab, hey, where you want to go? And you off right there. But I did that, and I had fun, and I put it in the book, and it's, I tell you, when I think back, I want to be born again. Just when I used to go to the Paramount Theater, the Strand Theater, and see all the greatest bands, the greatest stars. I saw Sinatra when he was with Tommy Dorsey's band, and I go to work with him a few years later. I mean, Jerry Lewis was a dear friend of mine, come to my house, and he's pasta piselli, that's peas and macaroni. And I waited in line to see him and Dean Martin when I was a kid. And here's a guy in my house. That's why I tell young kids, don't listen. Listen to your heart. Do things right. And don't be bullied by anybody, even if it's your mother and father. You want to be a plumber, be a goddamn plumber. You want to be a comic, be a comic. But be good. That's why we're screwed up in the world. We don't know anybody's culture. We don't stop and say, culture. Culture is such a wonderful word. If we all learned each other's culture, there'd never be a war. There's 8 people in this world destroying the world, 8 people. But I'm hoping the young establishment maybe can bail us out, because I'm over. I'm over. I'm going to sit down now and do something very strange. I'm going to have a heart attack. Why don't you just come and sit and listen to my garbage here tonight? I love you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll give you a bite. If you don't buy it, get out of here. Love it. Thanks.